Welcome to the explanation video for the March test of the Math Open. Question number 1. A kid weighing 50 pounds would need 8 grams of medicine. How much medicine would I need if I weigh 150 pounds? Can you tell that our 50-pound son Adam was sick and that's what inspired this question? So let's think about it. Since I weigh a lot more, I'm going to need more medicine, but how much more? This is a proportion problem. So we know that 8 grams works for a kid who weighs 50 pounds. We can divide 50 by 8 and we get 6.25. And what that means is for every 1 gram of medicine, you need to weigh 6.25 pounds. Well, now, what about a 150-pound person? Remember, we just found out for every 1 gram of medicine, you need 6.25 pounds. So you can take 150 and divide that by 6.25, and you get the answer 24. What I did is probably the best, most thorough way to do it, but there's actually a lot easier way, so let's look at that really quickly. A 150-pound person is 3 times bigger than a 50-pound person, right? You can do that by dividing 150 by 50. Well, if a person is 3 times bigger, they're going to need 3 times as much medicine. Instead of 8 grams, 24 grams. Both of those work. Obviously, if the numbers are easy to work with, like 150 pounds and 50, you can do it like I just showed you. If they're harder, you have to do it like we did originally. But either way, you're going to get 24, which is the right answer. Good job. Question number 2. Our family just started watching the Star Wars movies. If the average time for a movie is 2 hours and 13 minutes, how long will it take to watch all 11 movies? This probably seems like a pretty easy question at first, because all you have to do is take the time, 2 hours and 13 minutes, and multiply it by 11. But how do you do that? You can't really do that. What some of you did, which wasn't correct, was say 2 hours and 13 minutes is the same as 2.13 hours, and that's not right. There are 2 ways you can do this. You either have to convert it all to minutes or all to hours. Let's convert it all to minutes. So 2 hours and 13 minutes is how many minutes? It's 2 hours times 60 minutes per hour, 2 times 60 plus 13. So that 2 hour and 13 minute movie is 133 minutes. Now the problem becomes easy. Now you can take that 133 minutes, multiply by 11, and you get 1,463 minutes. And that's your answer. The other way you could do it is you could convert it to hours. 2 hours and 13 minutes is 2 plus 13 divided by 60 hours. 13 divided by 60 is the minutes part of the movie. And if you did that, 2 plus 13 divided by 60, you would get 2.2167 hours. That's how long one movie is. And once you get that, again, you can multiply that by 11 and you get 24.38 hours. 1,463 minutes is the same as 24.38 hours. Either one would be correct, so good job. Question number 3. Adam is 7 years old and he has $500 to invest at 8% interest. How much will he have when he graduates high school at 18? Here's the typical compound interest problem we're all used to seeing, and there's the formula. Hopefully you guys have memorized this by now. So let's look at what do we know. We know that S is 500. He's starting with 500. We know that R is 8%. We know the Y is 11. Actually, you had to do a little bit of math to figure this out. He's 7 years old now, and he wants his money when he's 18. So that's just some simple subtraction. 18 minus 7 is 11. And then the E, we don't know that. That's what we want to figure out. But if we plug all those numbers into the formula, we have 500 times 1 plus 0.08 raised to the 11th power equals, so 1.08 raised to the 11th power is 2.33. Multiply that by 500, and you get your answer, which is 1,165. And I'll tell you what, more and more of you are getting this question right. And if you were ever going to get any questions right, get the compound interest problems right. It's so important. So I'm really proud of all of you. Question number 4. A person has 3 billion molecules in their DNA. The most different people in the world are about 99% similar. And just think about that for a second. As different as we all are, black, white, Asian, Native American, Hispanic, any other things in between, men, women, all of us are still 99% similar. Remember that as you look at the world. So 3 billion DNA molecules that are 99% similar. How many DNA molecules do they have in common? Well, this is really a pretty simple problem. What makes it hard is it's dealing with a really big number and a percent. So 3 billion is 3 with 9 zeros behind it. And we're multiplying that by 99%. Now, you can't really do it like this on your calculator, but what you can do is convert 99% to 0.99. Hopefully, we're used to that. And then this becomes a pretty easy problem. 2,970,000,000 DNA molecules in common. That's a lot. Remember, we're all pretty similar. We're all much more similar than we are different. Question number 5. Pete has $1,000 and he has 5 years where he wants to invest it so it grows to $2,000. What interest rate does he need? This again is a compound interest problem with a formula we're all used to. Now let's look at what we have. He's starting with 1,000, so S equals 1,000. What interest rate does he need? So we don't know that, so that's the question mark. He has 5 years and he wants it to grow to 2,000. So let's put everything in the formula. We have 1,000 times 1 plus r raised to the 5 equals 2,000. So the first thing we do is we divide both sides by 1,000. And if we do that, we get 1 plus r raised to the 5 equals 2. And that, we were just using some easy numbers to work with. 2,000 divided by 1,000 is just 2. Now we need to get the r by itself. And remember how we do that. We have to deal with that 5 in the exponent. So what we can do is we can raise both sides to the 1 over 5. And on the left side of the equation, 1 plus r raised to the 5 raised to the 1 over 5, that 5 and 1 over 5 will cancel out. But if we put the 1 over 5 on the one side of the equation, we have to put it on the other side too. So the 2 has to be raised to the 1 over 5. Well, you can do that on your calculator. 2 raised to the 1 over 5 is, put that in your calculator, and that's 1.1487. And then you can just subtract 1 from both sides, and you get r, which equals 0.1487 or 14.87%, and that's your answer. Good job. All right, here's the last one. This is a probability question, and this was not easy. There's a room of 10 kids. There are 5 boys and 5 girls. What are the chances if you pick 2 kids at random, you would pick 1 boy and 1 girl? So remember, whenever you have these problems where you have to, you need to find out how many total possible ways can I pick something, and what are the ways I can pick it right. So let's look at it. For your first pick, what would be the right pick? Well, you either need to pick a boy or a girl. So that's actually, you have 10 ways you could win by either picking a boy or a girl. There are 10 kids. All of them are either a boy or a girl out of a total of 10 kids. So 10 out of 10, which is 100%. So the chances of getting your first pick right are 100%. And that's a little bit of a trick of this problem. But remember, you need to pick 1 boy and 1 girl. So the first kid you pick is either going to be a boy or a girl, so you're going to get that first pick right. Now let's assume, just for this problem, that we picked a boy. We picked person C. So now for your second pick got a little more complicated, because now, since your first pick you picked a boy, your second pick you have to pick the opposite gender, so you need to pick a girl. And remember, you already picked person C. You already picked that boy who is person C. So now you need to pick a girl. How many girls are there versus how many total kids are there? Well, there are 5 girls out of a total of 9 kids. So the probability is 5 out of 5 divided by 9, which if you did that on your calculator, is 55.6%. Now, that's your answer, because what you did is you multiplied the probability of your first pick, 100%, times the probability of your second pick, 55.56%, and that's your answer. This was not an easy problem. I would bet that there are a lot of kids in high school who would struggle with this. So the fact that we have some 4th and 5th graders who are banging this out is just so awesome. Congratulations. All right, great job, everybody. I say this every single time. Just sitting for this test is a great accomplishment, and I hope you are really proud of yourself. These questions are not easy. I didn't learn most of this stuff until minimum high school. And then a few of those, even in college, quite frankly, the probability ones. So the fact that you're doing these in elementary school is amazing. We'll see you for the next test, which is April 15th, tax day at McNair at 3:15. Good job, everyone.